One of our most important contributions so far was the training organized in Barnga in April at the headquarters of CARI, since CARI is responsible for the conduction of the and leading the fieldwork. The training lasted 7 days, included both indoor and outdoor components. The photos on the slide that you can see show these two parts of the training. The lower left, you can see the classroom sessions, where a theoretical and methodological background was presented, and on the right side of the screen, you can see the field training, where the participants worked directly with opened soil profiles. And the structure of this webinar series, this online webinar series that we have now, it follows the same logic as the training in Barnga. We will start today with the soil forming factors and soil forming processes. This will be the topic for today. And we are planning 5 additional webinars covering soil horizon namings. Then we will discuss the physical properties of the soils, chemical properties of the soils. Then we discuss soil classification. And the last topic is planned to be to discuss how to perform field soil observation. So as you can see, this is a 6-component webinar that we are planning. Okay, so now jump into the topic of soil forming factors and soil forming processes. But before jumping into the topic, just a few slides, 2 slides about the functions of the soils as introduction. Soil is much more than just a surface for plant growth. It can be considered as a living system that delivers essential ecosystem services that basically makes life possible on Earth. This slide shows that soils support food, fiber, and fuel production, which is one of their most visible functions and the foundation of agriculture. Soils also play a major role in environmental regulation. They help with carbon sequestration, climate regulation, water purification, contaminant reduction, and flood regulation. Another key function of soils is nutrient cycling. Soils store, transform, and release nutrients that plants and other organisms need, making them central to ecosystem productivity. Soils provide a habitat for countless organisms as well, for microbes, insects, and larger animals. This biodiversity is what keeps many soil processes functioning. Soils are also sources of raw materials and biological resources, including construction materials and even pharmaceutical and genetic resources. In addition, soils support human societies through the foundation that they provide for infrastructure and through their role in preserving good cultural heritage. The main takeaway from this slide is that healthy soils are multifunctional. They simultaneously support agriculture, biodiversity, water, climate, and human development. Soil is not just loose material covering the ground. It is a natural body formed through the interaction of different components of the Earth system. It is located at a very special location in the Earth system. It can be found at the boundary of the atmosphere, the biosphere, the hydrosphere, and the lithosphere. And what is very important and interesting, that soils contain parts from each of these spheres. The air in the soil, the air that fills up the pores in the soil comes from the atmosphere. The water that fills up that can fill up. The pore space in the soil comes from the hydrosphere. The minerals in the soil, the clay minerals, for example, they are coming from the lithosphere, and the organic material and the living biomass in the soil, it comes from the biosphere. This means that soil is not an isolated sphere in the earth. It is constantly influenced by rocks, climate, water, and living organism. It is dynamic, evolving, and responsive to its environment. When we describe soil, we are describing the results of these interactions over time.